our next performer, Robert Yoder. Let him know, Robert!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am from Dusseldorf. We're not the brightest people on the planet. But anyways, when I was a wee little lad, the only doctor that I had was my mom. Anyways, I was out playing one day, and I found a pop can, and I put my little wee-wee in there, and I got stuck. Not a good experience. But anyway, I started screaming, and my mom came over, and she just yanked it off like nothing. But in all the commotion, when she went to get some salve, she grabbed Bengay by mistake. She set my little wee-wee on fire. Oh my. But at least I got circumcised that day. A few years later, my mom, she took me to the eye doctor. She thought I needed to get some spectacles so that if that ever happened again, you know, in a crisis situation, I could read the fine print on labels so I wouldn't get in trouble. So I bought a rubber that day when I got my spectacles. So I wouldn't lose my glasses. I put a rubber band on it, and they stayed on my head. A few years later, I met my first girlfriend. Oh, I thought she was so pretty. But she was a real uggo. But anyways, you don't know what an uggo is? Look in the mirror. And anyways, I took her out for dinner, which was a big no-no. Do not think you're going to take her out for dinner and then go to the promised land. It doesn't work. I took her out for dinner, and then we went and parked. And I thought, well, okay, we started making out. And pretty soon, the puppies came out, and I thought, oh boy, I'm on the way to the promised land. But lo and behold, guess what? I got down towards the gate, and she fluffed. If you don't know what that is, she farted. Oh, what a stink. It was such a peculiar smell. I kicked her out. Didn't want to see her again. So I met my wife. She was my second girlfriend. She was the best. We got married. And soon she began ballooning. You know, she got pregnant. I knew I was on the right path then. But she gave birth to our little laddie. And anyways, I noticed something, that when a woman has a child, she kind of neglects her husband. And I thought, oh my goodness, but I took this in consideration. I thought, you know, she gave birth to her little laddie. She must be really sore. It's a painful thing. So I got my spectacles out and took my mom's advice. I read the package. It said, if a Bengay, it says this is good for sore muscles, may cause heat with friction. And I thought, you know, we haven't had whoopee in a long time. I don't know what, you know, I want to be ready for the next time because I want to do something good for my wife. And then she said, hey, Robert, come on in here. It's that time. Let's make some whoopee. So I said, just a second, honey. I went and got my rubber. Not these rubbers, you know, the balloons. And I put that on as a precaution for me, not for her. And I put a little bit of Bengay on. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. The fire was back. I just knew it. She was a screaming and a hollering, and we had such a wonderful night. Anyways, I have one more little story to tell you before I leave. Back there in Dusseldorf, we have this one guy. He really thinks he's a smart man, but he's really not that bright. He has a horse and a wagon, and he travels throughout the town. And we also have this lady of the night. Her name is Jeannie. And he came up upon her one night. And she says, sir, she waved him down. She says, I'm a genie. I can give you 3 wishes of anything you like. And he thought for a second. He says, you know, I could sure use a new horse to pull my wagon. She said, poof, he had a new horse. And so she says, you get 2 more wishes. You know, she was kind of giving him the eyeballs. And he says, I would like my wagon full of beer. She says, poof, you got it. forget one more wish. He says, you're right. I would like a squirrel. She said, a squirrel? He says, yes. She says, what for? And he said, you know, if I drink all of that beer by myself, I'm going to need the squirrel to go, to get the horse to go. Thank you all. You all have been very lovely.